Rushy.
How do you feel about your performance today against
I
the
feel
Pats?
great, man. We had a lot of haters talking on behind the smoke. We got Stritz talking a whole lot of shit. He got lucky. He got away to win last week.
Shit.
And we had Cuervo talking last week too. But it's all good. Jags are coming up. We're going to prove all the
Let's
doubters
go.
wrong.
That's a touchdown, baby.
Hi, and welcome to DD Live. I'm your host, Angel Camacho, and with my esteemed colleague, Jose the Perra Guerra.
And gang.
Oh man, I feel like a little dull. First, you know what? Let's go through the motions here. This show is brought to you by Divine Physical Training. For all your athletic, rehab, and masseuse needs to get you feeling right and at your absolute best, talk to Andy Ace Garcia. He will be the Michael Sabine Award winner this season. I think
without a doubt.
this man's going to set the record for the amount of expulsions out of the chat. But first and foremost, I want to bring up Ace because not only is he a valued asset to the league, a competitor on the content creator role, but he just underwent surgery today. And
For what, bro?
He has
For what?
a broken pelvis. A broken pelvis.
A broken vajayjay.
Un musculito ahí se salió del
Es
lugar.
un head, se metió con un negro.
And they had to, well, listen, listen, just with everything that's happened in DD, like I don't think I have the, yeah, I'm picking my spots here.
Hey,
So,
man, we started off on a high,
yeah.
and we've both, gone down. Yeah,
Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. Well, Ace, I hope you get better.
for sure, for
Want
sure.
you playing football as soon as possible. Because obviously we want you more on the football field than off the football field because you not playing football is just
It's,
horrific to everyone. Porque hablas mucho, hacer le caes
it's borderline
pesado.
insufferable.
People forget that you even play football, and then when you start saying these outlandish things, it kind of comes off the wrong way. But we love you, buddy. Hope you get better. So that being said, let me just stick the knife into my chest. Wow, I was horrific week 2. I did absolutely nothing for my team.
Um, I mean, I was right there with you, man. What was your stat line?
Well, horrific.
Besides just
Well,
touchdowns.
no, I got cheated. I got cheated on some a touchdown taken back. Some stats weren't counted, but I was the first done duel participant since in the stat keeping era to have a negative fantasy output for the week. At the end of the day, Jordan said it best. I was officiating one of his games, and he said it best. Stats don't matter right now. Shut up. He said it in a different in a different tone with different language. But I played horrific. I'm not gonna lie to you. I knew what I signed up for. Week 1, I knew that that we had to come out strong. So obviously, coming out and being 3 plays short of 3-0, being 0-2-1, our reality put us in a bind. Then knowing that Patterson was going to be there, the offers were peanuts. I kind of knew that going in. Kind of everyone knew I was going to go 0-3. I did not expect David missing half the first game.
Man, listen,
Everything, man. I get
David.
Mesoago, bro. I get Mesoago. Ernie, Roger. I think Ernie's mad at me because of
No, Roger doesn't have that
something
type of
in red
power.
zone. Roger, no say because if he's not a quarterback, I don't know, man. Someone has it out for me because
Bro, I don't know,
everything
but
that could have possibly gone wrong for me this season, whether it be jump ball, like it's just like the epitome of my season is that I go balls to the walls, get a sack, force a long third down, bomb the next play, game over. That's kind of been the epitome of my season.
look,
Like
man, seeing
I
David during my game, the Saints game versus the Steelers, seeing David like that on the floor, Man, that was
I felt bad for him.
hilarious.
I felt bad for
That
him.
was hilarious, bro. And
You know,
then
like
I
the
forgot
people.
someone took a video of him like walking away. They did the Julio Iglesias montage from Tropical, but they did it for David. Bro, I was dying, bro. I was dying.
Yeah, it was brutal. It was brutal. It looked like you just wanted to take him behind a barn and just put him to just put him to sleep because it bored like it was put him out of his misery. And then listen, I told I was hurt. I was hurt. I know that I did no favors in trying to make my team better on the field, but it just imploded way too quick. I think some of the guys lost sight of the fact that David wasn't on the field and neither was Patterson, and we were like three tier sixes out there playing four
Yeah.
against five, and it kind of fell into quicksand. Then the frustration bozo to the next game. Then one bad call, and then that bows over. One call goes the other way. A drive gets extended on a bogus call, and then things start to add on. You start chipping to each other. Not hanging out in the tent, not talking to each other. Kind of makes you feel like, damn, why are we even doing this? Do you even want to play with each other? I for one felt, like obviously you can't get mad because it's DD. But I didn't blame nobody after week one. I took ownership after week two, and I really didn't blame anybody publicly or anything other than just saying, look at the tape. People quit on me. And I think it's been consistent. Everyone did see that everyone did quit on me. Um, and then I didn't quit on my team. I'm like, well, whatever. We still got 10 games left, and not even a day later, they're trying to trade me. So now I was like, hey, listen, we got to blow this thing up. It's just, I
Yeah.
want another shot. I want another shot. I want to go out on my feet. I don't think I am that quarterback. It sucks. I went out 0-5-1 as my debut in the season as a quarterback. I,
I
I
will
didn't
say
have this
this.
written in the script for me, but
I will say this. Um I think obviously, like we were talking about, we have talked about off air. I think you've proven, that you're definitely worthy of continuing to be a quarterback captain in the tournaments. And if it ever comes around again for seasons, then I think you've definitely proven for the other aspects than just the product on the field. Obviously, I know it's easy to get caught up, like, oh, and just 5-1. But on that same, kind of, token or whatever, I'm 2-4. Like, and I did it to myself. Like I made my team. I'm not gonna say I made my team worse, but I made my team slower. And I did that, right. And it was something that is very easy to come back, in hindsight. Oh, you shouldn't have traded, those guys away. Well, I wasn't planning on going 1-2 again. I was planning on, hey, kind of like you. We went 1-2 week one. I wasn't gonna get stuck
you'll come
playing
back.
five hard, and yeah, it backfired, whatever. It didn't work out, and luckily we're able to pull out, one win against the Steelers, which I think was actually the team that we matched up probably the least against, and we were able to
That
get.
was tremendous comeback. The Steelers game, if I was not mistaken, they were up 3-1.
Yeah, we were down 3-1 and we came back.
They were up 3-1 and you came back.
And not through like, oh, fluke, tip ball,
No, it
pick.
was
No, it
stop
was
score, stop score,
yeah,
stop score.
stop score, stop score, stop score.
You won the game on a bomb to Dusty.
Yeah, on third down.
That was the next thing. There is, and that's one of the things for that what we've seen on the season, that there's been just struggling from top to bottom. As bad as I've started, I'm what, a game and a half out from the playoff race. Obviously another 0-3 week. I don't think my team, I'm traded before even the third game. I think I'd be the first in-game trade. Gerson will send me out. And that's,
Yeah.
and that's sort of what DD presents itself. You kind of have to protect yourself from your own team, and them losing faith in you. And then that's sort of the games you got to play with yourself, because, when you're in the huddle and you play a certain way, you got to make sure that everyone's buying in and then they're trusting. And you're seeing it in a lot of teams that there's a lot of struggle and there's a lot of bad football. Games, and for example, the Chargers. That's who we talked about being at the top of the top. Beaky's having, as a handoff player, he's actually exploiting a lot of these matches, and a lot of these matches he's actually winning it himself. How does he lose to the Chiefs?
I mean, man, that's actually, a game that, I have to go back and watch, but from talking to Stritz, and seeing a few of their highlights, they just mentioned, putting Peter Delgado at the line, rushing Andy with Andres, and then from all accounts, Stritz, might have been, where does Stritz live? Hella north, no?
Super.
Yeah, super duper. That's how deep, that's how far in the line of scrimmage, Stritz was. He was pretty much playing at the goal line. And I don't know if it was, Peaky just trying to put that Superman cape on and trying to do too much. We all know how he can, how he can get.
Right.
And then also just part of game plan, on the Chiefs side. So you got to give him credit for that.
So are we gonna
Stritz getting a pick.
are we gonna say that the Chiefs are the real deal?
I mean, it's very easy to say that after they go 3-0, going 5 hard and missing essentially their third best player. But I really think
Because
I
they get
think they're
better now.
definitely
They get
yeah,
better.
they
Carlos
get
is a
better,
great player.
right? But then they also now have to rotate, right? Which is, that's another aspect of the ED. They got to rotate. Peter Delgado's not going to be on the field the whole time now. So there's aspects that come with rotating. Yes, I think they have a really good team. I think they're a serious contender. Without a tier 6, and Eric, who I said it, after going into week 1, I was like, hey, he's the X factor on that team.
But to credit Stritz throughout the whole entire draft process said, I'm
Yep.
going Eric here. I'm going Eric here. I'm not trading. I'm going Eric here. He knew what he saw something in him. He wanted it. He got it. And well, hey, kudos to him. Stud of the week.
Yep.
I threw a pick 6 on him. Now, side note, talking about the Chargers. Chargers lose to the Chiefs. Inexplicable. Raiders are another team that we're very high on, that the league is very high on because of Chris D. Craigo, veteran, high IQ. They got Peppers. They got Duhaney. That's a good team. That's a solid
Yeah.
squad.
It's a solid squad, and that's
They
the
get
perfect.
murked
To
by
me,
the
that's the
Chargers.
perfect way.
They get murked by the Chargers 4-2. Same week.
Yep, they lose to the Patriots. No, I think, or they tied the Patriots. I think they lost to the Patriots. With
Yeah,
QB Enzo.
Yeah, 3-2.
Yeah, with QB Enzo.
So they go 1-2.
Yeah, yeah. So, I think the way you said it was perfect. They are a very solid team. I've spoken to him about it. I think Craigle, for all his greats, his attributes, his only fault is that I don't think he can lead a team as a quarterback. He presents, or he poses some sort of, he puts limits on what that team could potentially be offensively. And I think it's showing. I think it showed week 1 with Chris G not being involved in the game plan at
He's
all.
mad.
And then I
He's
think,
mad. He's just not getting his
yeah.
targets.
And then I think I don't think I saw too much. Like, I was watching that Patriots game, I didn't really see Chris D being involved too much.
But I don't
So
understand these
think
captains, but
there's
they're
a
not serious in moving the assets. So they don't want to throw
there's
to them, but they
disconnected.
don't want to trade them. So
Yeah,
it's
man.
like, and that's a part of with the trades. I think everyone has unrealistic expectations on what their fair compensation is going to be.
Yep.
I think everyone wants to create a super team, wants to be able to win in every transaction.
We'll get there. We'll get there for sure. I'm sure as part of the show. But yeah, just like you said, unrealistic expectations and evaluations on players. And I feel like I said this going into the season. I was like, hey, there's not going to be as many trades as you think, because a lot of these captains are not captains.
Right.
They think they know, but they don't know. Like, they're, like you said, they're just trying to win in every single aspect of the trade, and they're trying to sell you on, oh, you're going here because that's a better record. Like, it doesn't work like that. Going to a better record by the difference of one game doesn't make a difference
At all.
Especially so early on in the season. Like,
there's still 10
again,
games left.
There's still 10 games left. So
now the Patriots, which you bring up, they beat the Raiders. They also beat the Lions, which is a team everyone's high on. Everyone's high on Corona having the interceptions, having a solid season. So QB Enzo goes 2-1, and their only loss is to a good Jaguars team. So the Patriots, again, another team that's bringing that question mark. Are they for real? Are they not? But with all these teams, you get a different version every single week because of now Freddie Semino comes back. So is it QB Enzo or is it Freddie?
Again, and that's another team that is, it's perplexing because, again, they didn't have to rotate. And I get it. It sounds very stupid. Oh, they had Ray and Boo on the field the whole time. That 5 has chemistry. They had it working that day, So the ability of having those 5 guys essentially like on a heater every single game helps them out in that scenario. right? Obviously, I know they played.
which also
Uh,
benefited the Ravens because the Ravens were
they
able
played
to.
us. They.
They,
I'm gonna be honest.
they
They
beat
whooped
you
their
guys two
ass.
nothing. Ugly.
They whooped their ass. Like I told Revis and I told CP and I told Mike. They came with a great, phenomenal game plan against us, and they
Same as the
executed.
Texans. They shut down the Texans 3-2.
They executed that game plan they had against us was
Their
perfect.
only their only loss, their only loss was a 4-3 loss to the Cardinals, who are arguably top 3 team, top 2 team in
Yeah.
the in
And
the
I
league
think
this
they had a
season.
lead in that game 3-2 or something like that. Because I know
It
Rivas
was
is
a
not yeah, Rivas doesn't talk much and he was talking. So I know they
yeah.
were up.
Yeah, but he was yakking. He was yakking in that Texans game. Like he was feeling himself. There's one play with Revis where like, and then that's the thing about Revis. Like, he's such a cool cat. He comes up with this pick. Then like he just walks out of the end zone, like pretending like, like nothing. Oh, and he takes off and starts running. And then they're gonna get him like almost at the halfway mark, and he stops. And then like everyone stops, and then he goes again, moving, keeps
Yeah.
going. Literally, like just off IQ alone, this kid ate up 80 yards, and that's how he did the Texans, and then he sneaked up. Now, one of the things that I wanted to bring up was the Texans after that game, they just completely like give up because they came to officiate our game and they did just a horrific job. Jordan was overturning calls, like Alex Montano did a post corner, like he changed his route like 5 times, bailout call on a third down, giving him a pass interference. Kevin's excuse for not officiating was because they had 5. We had 5 and we officiated. I
You
was
know
out there
Kevin. Kevin has an
calling.
excuse for
Yeah,
everything.
he was sitting over there in the corner, not wanting to look at anything, calling anything. And it was just like, let's get it over with. Half that Lions team, by the time that they were snapping, they're already in the end zone. No offsides called. Like they were just so jaded from their loss to the Ravens that they just did not care about ours. That's the Dolphins. Forget them. They're they don't need this. They don't need this. They're done. Just put a fork in them. And you kind of saw that a lot in the league. You got to do better with the officiating, man.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna call out Dario and the Colts.
That's
I went
another
through
that's
the
another example. That's another
yeah.
example. They were on a
Like
high of a
I
good
don't
week,
care if
doing
you
a
were
lot of
hurt.
this. Then
Yeah,
you
they
come in the
love to
next
talk.
week, it
Yep.
doesn't go your way, and you want to be and you want to be
Yeah.
a sourpuss about it, and then affect the officiating, affect the camera recording, and just affect the overall experience of the game. It's just like, listen, these games matter. Get out of your feelings and stop hurting somebody else. And I feel that in that Lions game, the Texans officiating group did a horrific job. And they're the first. Kevin's the first one calling me out. I think on 2 different occasions this week, call me out. Oh, bad stat, bad this, and it was like both times he was dead wrong. It was somebody completely else, and
Yeah.
it's like they're the
Yeah.
first ones trying to hold everyone accountable. And I made a, and the thing was, the reason why that jumped out to me was because in that Texans Ravens game, I called in the camera on the review. You really can't tell, but Revis did a very high IQ play where he was completely beat and he ran into Jordan. Completely took Jordan out of the play. And I called pass interference. David said it was a football play. Everyone on my team said it was a football play. I was on the deep end, taking stats, looking at the game. I called pass interference. They still lose that game, but you would say that I called a favorable game, for the Texans, for them to come back to us, take away a touchdown, extend drives for them, not call offsides, just trying to rush through because Montano had to get to work early. Like it's like, again, and if you work on a Saturday, what the hell are you doing in DD, dog? Like if your shift starts at 11:30, this thing's not ending till 1. Like, come on, bro. Like,
That part of it's a little tough, but I do agree because again I know Kevin is he does that he doesn't he's a sore loser um and that's fine, right? Because I feel like some of us all of us are to a certain
I'm a
extent.
sore loser, but I'm not going to take it out on somebody.
Yeah, but that's why I said I wanted to call out Dario and the coach, because Dario as a captain, you got to take leadership. I get it. He got hurt on his ankle, but the guy shows up halfway through the game, making us wait the game, and then when he does show up, he's recording the floor. He's not even recording the game. He's with his phone, recording, looking down, talking with the person next to him. Like the coach love to just chit chat with each other.
Yeah. Like game plan their next game,
Their
talk
next
about the
game, their
last
next
game.
way of going up 3-0 or 3-1 and somehow losing that lead.
Man, that is the epitome of their season. If mine is Murphy's Law, that is Golden State 101 right over there. Going 3-1 and then bottling it. But Well, that was it was an interesting week too. Obviously, seeing how this is developing, there's still plenty of football left. The window's wide open. That being said, do you see a team that is like the one that's clearly ahead of everyone? I just feel that it's too early to anoint anyone because I just feel I hear the chatter. So it's very hard to put any team in the front when I know that they're this close to getting blown up.
Yeah, yeah, and especially that there's a lot of guys. I think I get it, right? But there's a lot of guys that are not declaring that they're gonna be out, for draft purposes or this or that, the other. Trying to manipulate where they go in the draft by only telling certain people. Um, so there's a lot of guys that are missing, weeks, especially week 3, for example, that, in essence didn't declare.
Where are some of them?
So I'm not gonna get into that, but there's a lot of guys that are missing week 3, and
A certain owner.
it's uh on important teams also, right? So it's like you don't really know how to gauge that team now, right? You got to wait now until week 4. So there's a lot of, I think there's a lot of that going on in terms of really, it affecting trades and affecting the value that you can also get back for a certain player. Because if you talk to a certain captain, they might not have any idea that you're trading this guy away, but this guy is missing a week or something like that. So there's a lot of that going on. I don't know if there's a way around it. I honestly don't mind it, but it is what it is. I just think there isn't that. It's easy to say the Chargers, at least in the, on the. But I haven't played the Chargers.
But the Chargers not gonna have Andy this week. In all likelihood, if no moves get made, what it'll be Tony Trujillo taking the snaps and
Peaky handoff every play.
Biggie handoff every single play. And then but with the line play, they struggled against the Chiefs. If teams start to replicate the way that the Chiefs played against them, now with no Andy and it's Tony back there, they're going 5 hard. Then Tony's gonna have to now go play defense.
Yeah, no, for sure. And then also
Biggie's hamstring is gonna be just
and I think another team that I would say is the 49ers. They look good, man. I played them.
Hey, that's what I was gonna say. They're a very fun team. They have top to bottom Lugo, Chris Campos.
No, not Lugo.
Not Lugo. Sam
Ward.
Sam
Yeah,
Ward.
Sam
Ward, Kurt, George, and
Sid and Campos. Yeah.
Right, Cardinals is
That's a solid team.
Cardinals
solid team. Same thing with the Cardinals. Obviously, I think the Cardinals, in my opinion, they're still.
Those are the two fun teams. It's just obviously you have all the chatter with Roger always trying to blow that team up. So
yeah,
you kind of feel that the Cardinals are going to look different. And then Balti has these instances where he just does not care, and I know that rubs his team the wrong way. There's a lot of personalities on that team, but he's not willing to trade. So
yeah, he's one of those guys that his value or the value he's looking to get back is it's pretty wild. Because obviously I've talked to him. I can't say there isn't a captain that I haven't spoken to, but his value evaluation is pretty insane. Like, oh, I want to get rid of Roger. Okay, cool, that's not a problem. Let me get AJ with it. No, I can't do that. Okay,
so then you're keeping Roger.
Let me get Andy, Steady, and Roger. No, I can't do that. Roger straight up for somebody. Oh, okay, yeah. No, like so like it's you gotta be able to concede at some point.
Sounds like Josh. It sounds like Josh.
Josh, listen, I'm gonna give props to Josh. Josh has at least listened this season. Seasons before, that man would not listen to anybody. So I'll give him that at least he's trying.
My favorite is Corona. He makes it seem like it's charity and that he's still thinking about it and it's a philanthropic effort. But you're losing on all fronts in every transaction, in every position. And he's making you feel like it's a favor, like it's a handout. And then he'll second guess himself. After
Dario's up there too. Dario's pretty fun to talk trades with.
Yeah, for sure. He's like, yeah. And then he goes, but no. My team, they love me, bro. Like, I can't do it. It is what it is, man. You want to.
Part of the league, bro. It's part of the league.
It's part of the experience. It's part of the experience of being captain, and obviously wanting to just play good. And obviously, man, going 3-1, and then going from the highs and lows of Colts camp. kind of indicative of how this season
Yeah.
has been. So, okay. Now, speaking of best, 49ers, one of the best teams, one of the best players. I would say front runner, MVP, too early to call. Outside of Peaky, I would say Georgie's up there.
Yeah.
Kukulia. Is he hurt?
I would say he's probably leading. The only reason I would say he's not leading is because I think Poti has a better record.
And the 5 sacks that Flacco had on him in one game.
And a lot of people are watching that game.
And it was
So,
like 7
whatever.
sacks.
That sticks in the minds of voters. Who knows?
It does.
Who cares?
It does. He's gonna need a lot of wins to like delete that. But we know how this
Yeah.
works.
Yeah. So, I mean, I would probably put him second again behind Poti, just because of record. As of right now, I haven't taken too deep of a dive into the stats. I know they're pretty comparable, so it would probably have to be on the defensive side. And I know because I've played both of them. Not that Poti's a better defender, but I know Poti for sure is more involved than Georgie is on defense. Just from my experience from playing them and from seeing them play a couple of games, I know Poti is being asked to do more on defense than Georgie. I guess, when you see that defense on Georgie, you just try to pick in the middle. So, I don't think a lot of people are throwing Georgie's way.
Now, one of the other questions, DDPA. There's been talks of collusion. There have been talks of players not being allowed in. What is the word on the street on the DDPA? Because actually, not this like the first season. God knows how many seasons I haven't been in it. So, I kind of don't know what's going inside the
Hey,
club.
man, you might have to give me a second. I'm getting a call. You might have to give me a second. I'm getting a call. I can't show you from who, but
yeah. All right.
Hold on. Give me a second. Give me a second. Guys, this is live. This is live right now. Give me a second. Yo. It's live? Yeah, what's up? We're recording DD Live. We got a trade or what? All right, I got you. Nah, I'll call you back. We're recording DD Live. Dale, bro. Hey, man, another team just got added to another trade. Who knows?
That's crazy.
Collusion. Who gives a fuck? Everyone collude.
That's the way it works. That's the way it works in DD. Can't even see the name. Well, by the time we're recording, I'm already traded out of here.
But listen, honestly, I think this might be the season where I have, and I think now that I think about it, I think it shows. I think this might be the season that I've cared about the least. And when I say care, I don't care to be in the gossip of who's dropping, who's this. This whole whatever they're going at right now today about Lavera's coming in. I honestly don't know who's dropping.
Yeah, this is the first time I don't know who's dropping. I don't know if Kukuyo's really hurt.
No, Kukuyo's not hurt. But I don't know who's dropping. I don't know any of the trades that are being talked about. I really don't know much because again, I've just kind of removed myself.
I didn't see any injuries in the tourney last week. So
I mean, it was just Monkey, and he already dropped. So
which by the way, speaking of idiots, like Josh could have gotten more value for that pick.
I mean, I was one of those people that I was like, hey, look, I know how much of a headache it can be. And honestly, now that, again, hindsight, I'm kind of glad I didn't have to deal with that because I just don't have the time. And I've kind of
to deal with the DDPA.
To deal with the DDPA, because I've already dealt with them, obviously in replacing Suazo.
And that was bad.
And that was bad, right? And it was just,
Is it a singular person in there or is it just... Is it the filter of steady? Like, what is the feedback that we're getting? I think
it's just a collection of people. It's not a good collection, right? There's just it's personalities.
Too many headstrong individuals.
100%. Too many personalities, and headstrong, deco. There's just too many people there, and then it's like you have three guys that obviously are very headstrong, but then Suazo's kind of that guy that he can kind of remove himself and kind of be in the middle. But I love Pepito, bro. But Pepito's probably like me. He doesn't give a fuck right now. Like, he's so removed for like not the wrong reasons, but he's just removed. Like he has no idea. Like Suazo, I still do think that he should be in the DDPA like he is because number one, he's obviously committed. He still goes, out there every Saturday, not since 8 a.m. But he also is at red zone, so he sees potential other replacements that people might want to bring up that haven't played it. So like I like that, right? I also like that Ray is playing on red zone as well now, so he can see more talent out there. But I think it's kind of hard when you have so many strong-minded individuals, and then you kind of have two outsiders. One like Suazo that cares, but you know doesn't care, I guess you can say, and then Pepito, who's just he's so far removed that again, nothing, not anything, obviously, I mean, Pepito's family to me, but it's just doesn't care, you know. Um, and not in the literal sense of the phrase, just he's too removed from it. He's not playing and stuff like that. So it's hard, man. People don't understand how hard it is to be in DDPA. I know I know I
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah. No,
We've
you're
been
getting
in
hit up. You're
DDPA
getting hit
before.
up. You're getting hit up, and then it's like when you get hit up, you're getting hit up because it's like the
Yeah.
anxiety. Everyone wants an answer.
Which
They
I've
want-
get it, because I've been on both ends. I've been obviously a captain before 100 times. I haven't been a de facto captain, but since I play quarterback, a lot of the times I have a say where I'm gonna go. So I'm, by
Yeah.
I'm also a pseudo captain as well. So I talk to them a lot, right? And I've been on both ends. I just prefer when you have a quick, fast answer. Yes, no, A, or update me,
And
right?
most of these reviews should be done quick.
Yeah, like I
Okay.
get it. We all have lives, but it shouldn't take more than one day
Or
for
don't
you.
or don't take the responsibility if you don't have the time to commit to it. If you're not going to be available, then don't sign up for it. That's pretty
That's
much
another aspect of it as well. Like in my opinion, we all got lives, but I don't think it should take more during the week. I don't think it should take more than 2 weeknights for you to decide on a specific on a particular transaction type. Especially if it's a replacement. Like, bro,
do better DDPA.
yeah,
Do better. You got to do better.
we say this every season.
Outstanding performers. Who do you have on the outstanding performers for you? Who do you think is
I mean, obviously,
individual talent across all tiers?
I mean, I think it goes without saying. Eric, man,
Yeah, Eric.
he was the X factor going into the season, and he proved it. Week 2. I would say Eric. I would say Campos from the 49ers is another tier 5. Well, he's a tier 6. Another tier 6 that is playing really, really good. Let me see. I don't think any of those tier 1 talents. Obviously, AJ doing what he's doing, Donnell doing what he's doing, Beaky doing what he's doing. So like I think those, but you expect that from those guys. So I think that bottom end, Eric, Campos, maybe Vic Lugo. I haven't really looked at his stats. I don't know how much he's doing for the Cardinals. But I think that bottom tiers have and I think rightly so based on the competition they're showing out this season.
Absolutely. All right. Let's move on to the games of the week. So glad not to see the Dolphins on anyone.
Hey, you definitely ain't gonna see them Saints there, baby.
Hey. Now, 8:45 in the morning. Tail of the Birds, Falcons versus Ravens. What do you got?
So obviously playing both of them. I think I'm going to go with the Falcons. I beat the Falcons, or we beat the Falcons. We lost to the Ravens. Then the Ravens had a great game plan. But I think, again, the fact that, Mark is coming back, obviously, no one's going to say Mark is a bad player. There's no freaking way. But again, just the element of having to rotate. There's a difference. You go into a week knowing, hey, we're going 5 hard. We got to put we got to sack up and we got to ball out. There's no other way around it. I could see not a letdown, but kind of just like a Revis, kind of taking a relax, like, oh, okay, I got Mark back. We're good, Tom. So, and obviously
good week.
I think Pepito's rush
is going to bother him.
It should be a factor in that game. Pepito rushes Revis
I like the Falcons here, 4-3. Just looking at the Falcons for being the Falcons, they beat up the mediocre, the mid-tier teams so far this season, baby. except the Niners.
The Saints.
And the Saints. No, but they gotta start winning quarterback over there. That's something Matt does not have.
I would I'm gonna go Falcons.
I'm gonna go Falcons here, 4-3. I
I'm
love the
gonna go
Ravens. I
Falcons
love the
3-2.
Ravens. It's just I just love the Falcons that much more.
Yeah, I'm officially done, at least for 1 week, shitting on the Ravens. Like I told Revis, I told CP, I told that entire team after we played them, hey, respect to all of you. You guys, balled out and you guys had a great game plan. And obviously they, again, that kind of goes to the mentality. Like they came ready. Hey, Perra was talking shit. Everyone thinks we're gonna go 0-3. They came mentally prepared for that. And we all know mentally, human nature is easy to get up for those games or for to play those people that are doubting you. It's a little different when now you get a little praise. So, I hope they keep it up, but I think I have the Falcons 3-2.
Okay. Cardinals, Niners.
Cardinals,
Baldy versus Georgia Geary.
Uh I got the Niners. I think not only do I think that obviously Yasid is, I'm not gonna say he's better. I got the Niners. I think what George is gonna do is he's gonna use those lower tiers. He did it with us with Campos. I don't think Campos is much of a mismatch in this game. I think it's gonna be about Sam, on Roger because Roger can't possibly rush Kukuyo. So I'm gonna go Niners 4-2.
Niners 4-3. Again, Niners, this time against the Chiefs. That's tough because Cucuyo, Peter Delgado, a lot of familiarity there. Chiefs are going to be full. They got Carlos back, full team. That's a tough
That's
one.
a good game. That's a good game. Man, that's a good game, man. That's a really good game.
I got Niners 4-3.
Damn, that's a good game because I really do want to take the Chiefs, but I think the Niners have a good enough rush from Sam. Obviously,
That Eric against
is it Verlin?
Campos,
I'm missing out right now.
the Eric versus Campos matchup is the one I want to look at.
I, damn, is it Verlin? Kurt's brother name Verlin?
Verlin Ward.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
So I think
it's
Verlin, yeah.
Kurt Yasid, Verlin.
Yeah. So I think Verlin and Sam can put enough pressure on Stritz to affect the game. I don't think that matchup of Chris and Eric are gonna be the deciding factor. I think it might be. I'm gonna go Niners because I think the Niners have enough speed to be able to rush Stritz. But I like what the Niners have going offensively. They besides the simple quick first down mistake they made against us, they carved us up pretty good. I like the Niners. I'm gonna go Niners 4-3 as well.
Okay. Final game on the slot. Lions, Texans, 11 a.m.
Oh man, that's a doozy. That's
Well, the Texans still be the Texans by then. As constructed, I take the Texans. I see what Kevin built, and he has the pieces: Jordan, Flacco, Danny G. He has the pieces there to be able to win games. Can he put it all together without Flacco walking off of him, which is not within Flacco's character? That whole meltdown that Kevin
yeah.
and Flacco had, it was disgusting to see. But you did see that on a lot of football fields, on my football field, maybe not to that extent. You saw
Yeah,
it.
definitely not to that. I mean, I caught the back end of it, but it definitely didn't sound pretty.
There was a lot of turmoil week 2. So I like the
I think
Texans. I picked the Texans, but this could very well go the other way.
I'm gonna go Texans, like you said, as currently constructed, um, and also as future constructed, because who knows? They're definitely rumblings within that locker room. Um, but I just think they have a little bit too much speed over the Lions. I like the Lions, but there's just something about that team. They're lacking a little bit of speed, in my opinion. They got to try to package 2 or 3 of those players to get a little bit more top end speed because again it also fits Corona's game, the deep ball. But I got Texans. I got Texans 4-2.
Texans 4-2. Okay. I had Texans 3-2. Um, All right, that pretty much sums up what we have for games of the week. What are we looking at in terms of bold predictions? You got something for me?
Man, I wanna say
You
I
want to say
wanna say
something about
something.
super teams?
No, super teams. I don't think a super team is going to be constructed. I know there's definitely it's not for a lack of trying. Um on a few so-called captains you know
Attempts.
attempts. I don't know if you're necessarily a captain if you're trying to build a super team with another captain. And you're crying about not taking on a certain tier 6, but who am I, right?
Right.
But I don't think a super team will be created because I just don't think optically it looks good. Um, and just
Yeah,
it doesn't make
yeah. Like if you create a really bad graveyard, like it's people are going to be in.
yeah, it doesn't make sense. I don't see how the DDPA would approve a certain trade of of that magnitude. But man, bold prediction. I would love to say, I'm gonna be honest, I would love to say Saints go 3-0.
I'd
Um,
love to see the Dolphins go 3-0.
that's
I picked them.
obviously
I picked
frowned
them.
upon.
Obviously, I'm always going to pick the Dolphins on the pick'ems.
Yeah,
It's a tough one. I was talking to Craigo. I think it's a Raiders bounce back week. I told Craigo, that I have them 2-1, and the one loss is to the Dolphins. I could very well see the Raiders
no
going
shot,
3-0
no
this week.
shot. I think Craigo at best goes 1-2. Um, but that's a team that's dealing with injuries, and hamstrings aren't necessarily the type of the type of injury that you can come back from.
Who has
I
hamstring injuries?
think Jeremy is pretty banged up.
Hmm.
Um,
I saw him
but
this weekend, but I didn't think he was playing.
yeah, oh, I feel great. I feel good. That's phenomenal, man.
Get
Good.
to the second play.
But until you play and you have to make instinctive movements, you
Yeah,
don't know
yeah.
how you're going to feel.
I know.
So, that's my thing with hamstrings. Granted, knock on wood, I'm not someone that, I've only been hurt once, was my Achilles. Um, but uh bro, I think we're beating around the bush too much. You shoot me a bold prediction so I can keep thinking.
Beating around the bush. No, I already said it. I think it's going to be the Raiders going 3-0.
The Raiders going 3-0. Okay. Okay. I don't know if it's bold. I don't know if it's bold, I'm gonna be honest with you, but I got Georgie Kukuyo going 3-0 and getting start of the week.
I could definitely see that happening, especially after squad winning 2 back to back. Which, congratulations to all the Miami teams who repped out at Miami Open. The fact that we didn't allow outsiders to come in and own the 305 was something to
Did
sight to behold
anyone
from top to
outside
bottom.
win? Because I know you guys won two, squad won two, I think Nothing Nice won one, and
Right.
Hunchos.
I
So
think in the 4-man it was between
I think Los Reyes won, no?
Los Reyes versus it was Pablo versus Velt for the 4-man.
Okay.
But that was an interesting weekend. Got to see there was a lot of turmoil. Special shout out to Kevin Nunez's father, Papa Nunez. We wish you a speedy recovery. He had a health scare over the weekend. We're glad you're on this side. You're one of the good guys. We love you. We love Kevin.
1,000%.
Congratulations to squad on their dubs. It couldn't have been nicer people that could have won this weekend. But overall, we love you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Wish you guys have an amazing week 3. Hopefully, I do too, and we could come back, chit chat about it, have some fun, and make fun of it on the other side. All right, guys.
Hey, guys, it's pretty simple, pretty easy. Get them before they get you. We out.
That's DD, baby. That's why I got him before they got me. DD's life, baby. We out. Peace.
That's a touchdown, baby.